me two.
1, 2 to you. 3. And 1, 2, 3 to you, and the dealer takes 2.
Bet 5.
Pardon me, Mr. Dance.
Yeah?
May I speak to you, please?
Well, go ahead, Grandpa. Talk.
I think perhaps you'd rather this would be private.
Why? Who are you?
My name is Wagner. Perhaps you remember me?
20 to you, Kurt.
Yeah, the face looks kind of familiar.
It should be. Though it was over 20 years ago. San Angelo, remember?
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien.
What do you want? I got no business with you.
You did once.
That was done with long ago. You can't bring it up again.
Business like that is never finished. I want you to go back with me. Tell it.
There's nothing to tell.
You've got to do it sometime. Sooner or later.
No. You've got nothing on me, you hear? The law says so. Don't ever come near me again, or I'll...
What do you do, Dance?
Now, this is none of your business, Earp. I haven't laid a finger on him, and I won't if he leaves me alone. But I got a right to be left alone. Remember that. You, too.
It's got to be settled, Dance. One way or another.
Get him out of here!
Sir. Mr. Wagner, is it? Do you have a charge against this man?
None that you'd be interested in, Marshal.
He's not wanted for anything?
Not by the law.
Then what's it all about?
It's between Dance and myself.
Then perhaps you better leave him alone. I wouldn't want to have to arrest you for disturbing the peace.
I understand, Marshal.
He also has rights of privacy. And he can protect himself. I advise you, sir, to settle your differences by legal means.
If that had been possible, I wouldn't be here now.
Anything you want to tell me, Dance?
No, there's nothing to tell. He's just imagining. But you keep him away from me, or there'll be trouble.
You in, Dance? What are you so speckled at? The old man. Still staring.
Sure is. And if looks could kill.
How can he just sit there, hour after hour, and just stare? Don't he ever get enough?
No. But I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm going to fix you so you won't stare at me.
Wyatt.
Oh, howdy, John. Where you headed?
Home to bed.
Yeah, that's where I wish I were. Your paper all made up?
Yep. All the news and stories I can scratch up. That is, unless you're holding out on me.
Not a chance. Come on, have some coffee with me.
Oh, now, Wyatt. Coffee's no kind of a nightcap to offer a tired editor. You kind of
Hey, Wyatt!
What's the trouble?
That old man's been beat up pretty bad, Wyatt. We got him down to Miss Nellie's.
Looks like I get a story instead of coffee after all.
Where's Kurt Dance?
He's in a game over at Elhammer.
Well, you go get him. Bring him to Miss Nellie's. Mr. Wagner.
Wyatt. That gentleman is Judge Wagner from San Angelo.
That's right, young man. You know me.
Yes, sir. You don't remember me, do you, Judge? John P. Clum?
Oh, I'm afraid I don't.
That's all right, sir. I was a young man then. Seems like a long time ago. I'll wait downstairs, Wyatt. Miss Nellie, may I speak to you?
You want to tell me about it now?
Nothing to tell. I just had a little misadventure.
With whom?
It was very dark. I couldn't be sure.
Judge Wagner, you expect me to believe that?
You can't prove differently. I know. I've heard that plea in court many times.
Won't you tell me?
Tell you what?
Why a judge, one of the most respected judges in the West for 30 years, should get mixed up with a notorious gunman, killer, thief. Why that man isn't dead or behind bars now, it's hard to understand.
I know.
Well, I want to know all you know about him.
You mean well, Marshal, but you only interfere. I'm not a judge any longer. I'm retired. But I have a job to do, and I've got to do it in my own way.
Everything peaceful?
It's early yet. Don't count your chickens. You know where there's liable to be some trouble, too, don't you?
Where?
That blamed old judge. He's an old fool, if you ask me. I ain't so sure Dance ain't right.
Why?
Well, the judge has gone and got himself a gun. And he's wearing it, too. Just a daring Dance. What'd you find out from that wire you sent to Texas?
He acquitted Dance of murder 20 years ago.
Well, don't seem like there'd be much connection there that long time ago.
Acquittal. Now, that's what's interesting. Now he wants to kill him. Why?
Don't ask me. You know this judge better than I do.
Only thing I know about him is he's got one of the best reputations in the West.
Wyatt?
What is it?
Trouble. Dance just left the Alhambra saloon. He's heading for a showdown with Judge Wagner.
Where?
The judge is waiting near Boot Hill.
Come on, we can catch Dance before he gets us.
Hold it, Dance.
This is where you stop.
Now listen, Earp. I didn't ask for this. He's made it so I can't refuse. Now he challenged me open, so I can't be blamed for killing him in a fair fight.
A fair fight. An old man who can hardly hold a gun?
That's not my fault. He shouldn't have challenged me.
Well, you're not going to fight him, fair or any other way. You're going to stay right here. Shotgun, you stick with him.
What are you gonna do, Wyatt?
I'm going to find out exactly what the old man was planning to do. Maybe you better lend me your hat, Dance, for just a few minutes.
What for?
Because for a few minutes, I'm going to be you. Judge. Well?
What happened? There were no shots.
He fainted or worse. I can't tell. We'll get him over to Dr. Goodfellow. Look.
Empty.
He wanted Dance to kill him. How is he?
He's weak, but he's all right. It's just the tension and the excitement. He just fainted. He's an old man, Wyatt, and he's awfully tired. Come on in.
Judge Wagner.
Marshal, I told you you'd only interfere.
You still won't tell me what this is all about? Then I'll tell you. 20 years ago, you acquitted Dance of a murder charge. Now you pass sentence on him and say it should have been done a long time ago. That must mean that you found out you were wrong. Or
what?
Or you acquitted him knowing you were wrong.
Yes, you're right. It's even worse than that. I took money to acquit him.
You. Judge Wagner.
Yes. Amos Wagner. The man with the finest reputation for honesty and integrity in the West. A reputation any man could be proud of. You can imagine how I felt sometimes hearing those things said and reading them printed about me. I felt like a fraud, a miserable imposter.
And that was the only time in a lifetime as a judge that you did anything like that?
The only time. And I needed the money so badly. My wife and my child were sick. Dance knew that. But it didn't do them any good. I lost them both anyway. Now I'm old and alone. And I must right this one terrible wrong I've done.
But this isn't any way to do it. If you feel that you must redeem yourself, go on back to San Angelo and confess.
I already did that. Perhaps they didn't even believe me. They said that there's nothing they could do about it legally. Even if it were true, they didn't want to besmirch my reputation at this late hour.
they were right. One mistake in a lifetime of service.
It's not that simple. I set that man free to kill again. And he has many times. Those lives are on my conscience. And I won't rest easy until I've done what I can.
Until you've killed Dance?
Or seen him on his way to the gallows.
Well, you wouldn't have accomplished that tonight, Judge Wagner. He could prove that you openly challenged him. And how was he to know that you'd face him with an empty gun?
Yes, it's very difficult. A very difficult problem. I've tracked him this far, but now, I don't know what to do.
Well, a man like Dance is bound to wind up on the gallows eventually. Why don't you leave him to the law?
You're the law here. What can you do about him?
Well, I admit it's a pretty sad situation, Wyatt, but what can you do about it?
Well, I think maybe I can put Dance behind bars and it helps some.
How? He's managed to keep himself out of trouble lately.
John, you told me he's been losing pretty steadily at poker.
Yeah. Yeah, that he has. And he's getting grumpier all the time.
And seedier.
Well, the money's got to come from someplace. He ought to be just about right for any kind of illegal deal.
Wyatt, you mean a trap?
Well, it isn't exactly ethical, but in this case it may be justified. You can just say we put temptation in Mr. Dance's way, and if he falls for the bait, well, that's too bad for him.
Well, at least it'd keep him out of the judge's reach for a while.
And a while is all we'll need.
That's right. I don't think that old man's gonna last too long.
All right, this is what we'll do. John, you like a good game of poker, don't you?
Oh, I do. Yes, sir. That man's a real fool. Now, you know he goes home every Saturday night, same time, and always with what's in the week's till. That must be close to $500 or $600.
I'll bet 10.
He goes home all by himself and down the same dark street.
Yeah, and that Bruce Street's a real dark one, too.
Yes, it is that. Man's a fool, all right. Body could rob him anytime there's a mind to. 10, and, I just have to bump you 10 more.
Yeah, with no trouble either. Especially when he stops off at the bird cage for a snort before he starts home.
Well, he likes to celebrate the end of each week. Cards?
2.
2.
Then he don't even see so good. Well, he wouldn't even have to worry about him recognizing you.
Dealer takes one, gentlemen. Well, of course, if it was the Clanton that was to do it, he'd make sure he didn't.
I'll bet 10. Yes, sir, that'd be real easy pickings.
Well, how come the Clantons don't do something about it?
Why, old man Clanton gave up that kind of thing when he was a rosy-cheeked boy. 10, and I'll just have to make that a little sweeter by another $20, gentlemen.
No, that's too rich for my blood.
See ya.
You see, old man Clanton, he likes to go for the big stuff like I do.
Shotgun.
Howdy, Miss Nellie. Wyatt just sent me over to check on old Judge and make sure he's in bed.
Where else would he be? He's sound asleep.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Shotgun, is something going on?
Well, I guess you could say so.
You know, I wish that old judge never come here, Miss Nellie.
Why, what's the matter?
Well, Wyatt's took on his troubles. Now he's going to meet Dance. He just might get himself gunned.
How do you know? Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am, I'm sure. I even know when and where. A little after 9 down on Bruce Street in there first.
Why aren't you down there?
Well, I'm a-going. You know, Wyatt told me to keep my nose out of it, said I might gum things up.
Well, you get on down there right now.
Yes.
Don't pay any attention to Wyatt.
Dance?
Who is it?
It's me, Judge Wagoner. And now I'm going to carry out this sentence.
No, no. You don't get me to fall for that. I saw the empty gun.
It's not empty this time.
I told you. You can't do a thing to me.
Can't I? Marshal, is he dead?
Yes, he's dead.
I'm glad I didn't let you interfere this time.
Judge, if only you'd waited a little.
My time was running out anyway.
But I would have gotten Dance for you.
You might have been hurt. But this is the last.
The last what?
The last killing that Dance will ever commit. But this one won't be on my conscience.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt!